Now I don't know. Last live just now. Doesn't seem like it. Seems to be okay. So I am still live? Because when I look at myself on mobile, it says last live just now, but it says I'm currently offline. Or am I back? Was I gone for a little while and I reconnected? Is that what's going on? I thought it was just my chat disconnected, but apparently the whole stream went down. Yeah, you see me live. Hello? Hello yourself. Gosh, I don't know what that was about. Sorry about that, everyone. Well, we haven't really progressed much further. Came back. Okay. Got another ad? Unfortunate.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
That's silly. Just because my stream went down, you should still... Watching the ad the first time should, like, clear you for all of Twitch for a little while. That's kind of ridiculous. This gives a buff, I think? Oh, I forgot to use the holy water. So now we get a debuff until camp instead. That was silly of me. Okay, but I guess we're back live. Oh, yes, Stream Elements, thank you. I am live. That is true. Thank you for confirming that for me. I'm a little concerned. I mean, maybe it was on Twitch's side. There's nothing I could do about it anyway, but I'm a little worried since I don't know what the source of that was. I don't know if there's anything I should be trying to solve or investigate here. OBS never detected that I wasn't streaming anymore. I guess that means it has to have been on Twitch's side, right? If OBS just thinks it was sending the signal the whole time and its counter is still counting up from the start of stream, that means that something happened with Twitch's servers, probably. But even then, they should have sent the message back to OBS that they weren't receiving the signal properly. We got at least one more obstacle. We can afford to use a shovel on this. Oh, I should be using my antiquarian to open stuff. That's right. Oh, you're gonna open it anyway? Oh, Hugs is getting all the diseases. Oh, he resisted that one. Okay. Well, that's better than nothing. Your stream counter is at 5 minutes? Yeah, see, so Twitch obviously thinks I disconnected, which I did. But like for me in OBS, my stream counter says I've been live for 40 minutes. So OBS doesn't realize that things stopped working for a period of time. Which is weird. Oh, got a fight here. De-stealth that target. Hopefully it works going forward. If it goes down again, we'll have to see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay, that's alright. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. It's not gonna be a big deal, but... do I guess we just guarantee that you die. Feels a little overkill, but that's fine. 8. You're lowish, that's alright.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Small bleed is nothing to worry about.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pit.
He'll ever everybody up here now. Which one do you use faster? Same speed. I'll take you out. Oh, we won't take you out. What? How did that only do 5 damage? Alarming. Okay. Well, you'll finish off this one then. Seven and 8. That's okay. Ooh, nice crit.
Passion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
You'll finish that off. No problem.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Switch our order up here a little bit and continue onward. What are you, a Squiffy Ghast? I've never seen this before, I have no idea what it does. A Squiffy Ghast. Okay, well. It's got 53 health. Maddening Shanty. It's a stressor and a debuff, okay. And then you jump to the front for some reason. You have 50% protection. We're gonna need to be setting up Blight on you for sure. To pick away at that.
A momentary
Get some heals off. Do I Zealous Accusation, or do I just swing into... Oh, this is Unholy. Yeah. Ooh, that's a big old crit. Okay. You're gonna Barnacle Barrier that. That's fine. It's not really a big concern to me. That's a hit? That was indeed a hit. Okay, I was planning to lunge at you, but since you're so low, I guess we're gonna lunge on you instead. Get you both to be very low. Hopefully we can just kill both of these with the papers. It's okay.
dizzying blow to body and brain.
3 for 5 rounds. That's not... that's probably actually worth... Hello, love. Welcome back. What did you get to eat? That's worth using a bandage on, I think. Stack up our Blight on this thing. Just some leftovers? Nice. Nothing wrong with leftovers. Nice dodge. So we can't hit you anyway because you're being protected for one more round, so we might as well just use everything on... Actually, we can hit you if we do an AoE that will hit both of you. Single target heal on you. You're not being protected anymore, but we can't get... This is in the way. Just keep working our way through this thing. Hit them both again. It's okay. If this applies, yeah, you'll be dead now when you take your next turn. So in that case, we'll just top everybody's health up.
Your death by inches.
Escaping taxes by hiding behind your dead friend. That's a thing. Isn't it, though? That's the play.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I need to think about this before I make a statement that I would regret. I don't have any dependents, and I don't think currently I have anything which I have guarantors on. I'm pretty sure that if I have an untimely passing, it would be totally fine for one of you to steal my identity and use it to evade taxes. I don't think that would negatively impact anyone else I care about. So... we'll just use the guaranteed one. Oh, sack is empty? Unfortunate. Gosh, I brought the Antiquarian along and we're getting a little bit of money out of this run, but I was hoping for a lot more. Okay, surprised, good. Oh, I should have moved you up, that's okay. Take out... What do I want to focus on? This thing can explode and do a lot of damage. I think this thing is the most consistently annoying. I'll have to blight this thing again. Or we'll fail at blighting it. Oh, because we dashed forward, we can't use illumination to reveal this thing in the back. That was foolish of me. Okay. Change of plans. You'll stun instead. Oh, no. Okay, we're just going to fail all of our checks. Okay. Call it deep. Is that a damage buff? Yeah. That wasn't a great first round. We missed a lot of abilities and stuff. Okay. So did they. Stress wave, that's not a problem. This run's so short that stress is not going to become a thing. You're down 25 points. We can single target heal you. Okay, now you... Here we 1 health. Jesus, okay. And it gets its turn off before I can finish it. Oh well. Do I just take you out with something, or do I keep trying to blight? No, I should kill you while I have the chance. Oh, 16. Showing them the papers. Now this only has... Is it going to explode? Yeah, it is. How much damage is it going to do? Oh, everybody dodged, so it's fine. Whew. That was dicey. Now your protection's 75. That's... Oh my god. It's going to take a while to kill you at that rate. I think it's worth fading back right now. Can we get some blight? We can. Do that. Heal everybody. You... Why not? It's good damage. Especially to something that has 75% protection, so... What was that number? We did like 18 or something? That would have been 4 times higher if this thing had no protection. So that's a big hit. You're gonna die to your thing anyway.
Slowly, gently.
Perfect, and now we finish you off.
This is how a life
36 crit. This party's rolling. You'd never believe that we went to Death's Door in the first fight.
Push on to the
Everything's
task's
flowing
end.
pretty smoothly right now. Okay, since we haven't completed the dungeon yet, there is at least one room battle left, and it's one with treasure. Okay, hopefully we can get some good stuff. Coming out with a lot of crests at least. That's something. This we can use... Oh, medicinal herbs will clear us of a negative quirk. I think that's what that does. Who do we have? I don't care about Hyro. Thin-blooded, be alright to get. I don't care about Flagellant. Actually, Hyro would be okay to get rid of. Like butter? Indeed. Like a hot knife through butter. Obsessed with the paranormal. Oh, that causes you to open stuff randomly. That could be okay to get rid of. My blindness isn't really a problem. You have some okay stuff. Bloodthirsty, claustrophobia, thanatophobia, germaphobe. That would actually be really good to get rid of because, well, I don't currently have this character built for it. You can build grave robbers as like high blight characters, so accuracy versus blight kind of completely negates that playstyle. So getting rid of that would be okay if we got lucky. Don't care about witness. Don't really care about guilty conscience. And those are... Be fine to get rid of any of those, but they're not a big priority really. Witness again, don't care about faithless. Curious we could get rid of. These other things don't really matter. Okay, we'll try you. We're hoping to get rid of germaphobe. Warren's phobe. Okay. Not the one we were looking for, but that's okay. Where are you? You need to open this pack. Nice. Grab this, grab that. You all full health? No, you're not. You could use one. You could use a light touch-up. That's our last curio. We got one more room fight, and then we're done with this quick little run. Nice, a chest. We will fade you back. Now that I remember what my characters are and the order I want to be doing things in. Because now that you're faded back, you'll be able to de-stuff that backline thing. Oh, we got two of the pelagic champions? That's annoying. They just take so much time to kill. Also, I'm not usually one to point out, like, logical inconsistencies in this kind of game where everything's about, like, you know, otherworldly madness and stuff, but why is there a fairly fresh-looking whale corpse here? Hasn't this place been, like, abandoned for a long time?
Sedated.
Is there a buff here? Just a high damage buff. Oh, but he'll tank it anyway because you're being guarded, so we can't use that on you anyway. Okay, that's the case. We're gonna lunge at you. keep the blight stacking up on this one. Keep picking our way through. Gosh, we went through 2 full rounds and we still haven't killed a single enemy. I haven't really been focusing them very well either, but we'll get one this turn. Now I could single target, but I'd like to work on clearing that corpse too, so we will just keep using the papers. We'll also stun you. Oh, resist? Okay. For 3 rounds is not a problem. You're not guarded anymore, which means you can throw a dagger at you. Do I keep? Yeah. Get these things up into range here. You're not that low health. We can afford to stun one of these. Okay, that's 6 for 3 rounds is worth using a bandage on. Actually, this is the last fight. Might as well use a bandage regardless, right? Take you out. That's a big heal. Crit heal hype? Indeed. Crit heal is important. You can't do anything, but that's not a concern, really. Okay. Well, this is the last room, which makes it really easy to know that we can burn this. And throw away this. And throw away... Continue adventuring. Frezzo, you open this thing. Ooh, nice. That's a good pickup. Don't need any more torches. We can grab that. Don't need any more bandages. We don't need these holy waters. I guess we're not going to get lucky and get a scout off for a secret room, unfortunately. For a short run, this isn't going to be a bad haul of money. Tons of 4 full stacks of crests is kind of ridiculous. Okay, let's get out of here.
The pungent odor abates. The things are driven back.
So what do we get in total? 17, almost closer to 18k. It's not bad. So many crests. Oh my god, finally got your Void Ark run party after 6 timed out people. Oh wow. That's a lot of timeouts. I'm sorry that it took that many tries. Infirm. Minus 20% healing received. Ooh, we might have to get rid of that. That's annoying. Also, I mean, chat hasn't
You will know the tragic
gone
extent
down for me
of
again,
my
so I assume
fate.
everything's fine, but hopefully we continue running alright. And we don't drop again. Okay. Unequip all the trinkets. So what did we need? Who needed what? Hugs needs to get a disease cured. Get rid of that. 48. We get decent stress relief with people just sitting idle in town. I don't know if I actually need to even heal for this. Couple of weeks without using bun and that'll be fine. So we can save some money there. Frezzo. Frezzo's probably fine too, in all honesty. Molly is probably also fine. Haven't seen anything weird since then? Excellent. Glad to hear it. How much would it cost me to get rid of Infirm? 1350, that's not too bad. They get really expensive when they're locked in like this. Yeah, 4500 for these locked in ones. Let's get rid of Infirm. And then we can, I guess we might as well check the stagecoach. Is there anything here I don't really need? Actually, first I should see if any of these are worth taking. Unerring is pretty good. Stress Faster's okay. Quick Draw is not bad. Wield Phobe's fine. Flawed Release, that's annoying. Steady's good. Resilience, decent. Gothic's not bad. Although we don't have an Occultist Mercenary, so that's kind of useless. Slow Draw is not the end of the world. Ruin Phobe's fine. Okay, this character is not bad, actually. Is Bleed good in the Farmstead? I should know this. I've ran it several times now. Okay. Bleed resist low, bleed resist low. Bleed resist high on that one. Bleed resist low. Bleed resist high-ish. Bleed resist high. Bleed resist high. Bleed resist high-ish. High. Okay, so a lot of the later strong enemies are strong against it. The early stuff, it's good. Bleed is good against, but not the later stuff. Okay, that's about what I'd expect. Okay, gonna switch devices and grab some food. Be back in a bit. Nice, sounds good, McD. I hope your food turns out excellently. Coast Ranger's useless on a mercenary. Stress Faster's okay. Balanced is fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't really care about you. Eldritch Hater's alright. Backtracker is not useful. Beast Slayer's not useful. Okay, so none of these characters are particularly good. Oh, this character's good. The extra damage on the range skills is nice. The minus range crit is not so nice, but okay, we probably don't want any of those. Did all our low-level characters get into a reasonable spot? Reasonable-ish. Okay, are we gonna... Actually, might as well, while we're here, check quickly our... We need a lot of crests to get to the cartographer's camp. a lot of these to get to the granary. Yeah, we're not really close to any of these. Other than the Jester one, but... I don't use Jesters often enough to... I mean, I have a couple, and they are definitely useful, but like... I'd rather save up for one of these better ones. I'd really like to get... I mean, the granary wouldn't be bad. Photographer's camp sounds really good. We could save up our crest for that, probably. Okay, infestation rate is high, so we're going to start getting a lot more characters getting the curse. Which means we're going to have to start working our way through the courtyard again. At some point. It was nice while it lasted not having to worry about that, but it always becomes a problem again eventually. Okay, the Fulminating Prophet. What do I want to run against you again? I fought the weaker versions of the Prophet, so I'm willing to... If anyone's curious, I allow myself to look up anything in this game that I've already seen, just because my memory's not great. So like, I don't look up stuff that I haven't seen yet, but I'll look up things that I have already seen, which means I can look at the earlier versions of the weaker versions of the Prophet and see if that tells me much. Okay, so the earlier version, the weaker version, Blight and Bleed actually could be okay. It doesn't have high resistances to those. If I recall, it does a big hit all attack. Okay. Yeah, okay, I remember the early boss fight. So hopefully the second one isn't anything completely different, which it shouldn't be. It should just be a stronger version. But we'll see when we get in there. So that said, I can take... Where are we going to be? We're going to be in the ruins, right? Who do I have that's good in the ruins? Good in the cove. You're good against unholy stuff. You're Hippocratic. Take you. We'll take... What are my... We're not going to be fighting beasts in here. Dodge buff at low HP could be useful though. Guarding an ally could be good too. Maybe we could take Za. For no? Scouting chance in the ruins could be nice. Gifted could be really nice. Yeah, we can take you along. And then we don't we have almost no like consistently strong frontline characters at this mid-level. I mean, we can take Asher. Asher takes less stress in the ruins, which would be good. We can do that. Seems reasonable. Seems like an okay team, hopefully. check everybody's level ups. You're good to go, you're good to go. You're good to go, you're good to go. Okay. For this boss fight, we're going to want you to be able to use this, of course. Don't think this is useful to us. The mark could be useful. The guard ally, if we get like a low ally, could be useful. And do we take a self-heal? Or do we take a stun? Or stress reduction? We'll decide when we get in there. I think we leveled up everything we needed to. We've got the exact stuff on you that we want. Your stuff's already leveled up, which is fine. Your stuff, I think we've got the exact stuff on you we want to. Because I only want ranged things on you anyway, because of the trinkets we're going to give you. Okay. So they're good to go. Let's get them kitted out here. On you, we take massive buffs to your damage skills, and speed and dodge seem good. On you, I don't think we have any specifically good Houndmaster stuff. Could take even crazy higher dodge. Reduces damage a little bit, unfortunately. But we're going to have decent damage coming out of you and you, hopefully. What else could we do? We've got, what does this do? Marks and reduces protection. This does bonus damage versus marked. We could actually give you Wolf's thing to double down on damage versus marked targets. That actually would compensate for this, so we can keep the dodge. Quirk? So 15 of that is only if our HP falls low enough, but this is still a pretty high dodge character. So you've got that, you've got that. You now have a few options, but I think we want minus stress plus healing and plus healing. Again, just full healing. Yeah, you're going to be dealing good damage. And you, we need to have reduction on stress for transforming. And I could go protection or damage. 25% protection seems pretty good. 25% damage seems we'll go protection. The Prophet does party-wide damage. I think we should be okay if we just gear up like this. Low dodge on our healer, unfortunately, but our healer heals the most, so it's fine. Plus 20% on this, then plus 33%, plus 25%. So much extra healing. Okay. I think this party can handle this. I hope. Provisions in here. So this is a medium, so we need a stack of food. Probably that much extra. Stack and a half at least. We'll go a little more. We'll go stack and a 2/3 or 3/4 of a stack of torches. Got our biscuits, which is fine. I'll take a couple of shovels just in case, a couple of keys just in case. We're in the ruins. A couple of holy waters, I think. There's a few things in the ruins that like holy water. I don't think the Prophet uses any, like, any of this stuff. Fire Call just does stress skills and, like, high damage skills. Should we take this in case we get some horrors cast out on us? Does the Prophet cast horror? It might. We'll take 4 of these just to be on the safe side. We may end up having to toss them away, but should be fine. Okay, let's get in there. I think this is our last veteran level boss. After this, we'll have done all the medium bosses, and we'll only have champion level bosses left. I think. Not positive, but I think.
How had he returned time and time again to rouse the townfolk with his wild speculations and prophecies?
I appreciate y'all sticking around through the technical difficulties and stuff, though.
The echoes of his mindless tittering.
And a scout to start off. That's not bad. What's this? Okay, so the boss is almost certainly way over there. So we can scoot over here, do this quick backtrack, and then head right over. There's a fight there, there's a trap there. I think we step out here to grab this torch. We go back into the first room. We swing down around. Oh, you have all your abilities, right? That's right. Do I have the right things? You have the right things set on. You have the right things set on. Did you have the stuff I wanted set on? You have a stress reduction. You've got a heal. We don't. Yeah, we don't need the guard ally until potentially we get to the boss fight. We'll trade one of these things for it. The sack is empty.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Not surprised. It's unfortunate. Good dodge. I brought you in with a little bit of stress, so for the time being, we're just gonna try to clear that. This part's so tedious. Which part? I don't know if I actually remember. What are you running? Void Arc. I don't remember Void Arc well enough to know which part is tedious, I don't think. It's been a while. Not bad at all. You just mean having to do it like 18 times? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, that's the price you pay for liking the relic weapons. I'm kidding, I'm sorry that it's tedious. Don't even... Oh, you don't like how these ones look? Ah, that's unfortunate. Because you do like some of the previous ones you've gone for, right? I think the last is awful. Oh no, I'm sorry, love. So you're just doing it for completionist's sake, then? I guess you've invested so much. And just for the eye level. Oh, because they are actually like the best stuff available right now. Makes sense. It's unfortunate that they don't look good, though. Oh... You can clear stealth. But it's not your turn right now. So instead, we'll just work on taking down this big guy. Yeah, when complete, it's the best weapon. Ah, okay. That actually makes it a little bit more appealing. One of my biggest, well, not biggest, but one of my big issues with the like the Realm Reborn and then the Heaven's Ward and then like the all those versions of the relic weapons is like I wasn't into how they looked, and they weren't going to be good for me anyway. So I was like, what's the point? Nice dodges. 535 will likely do you well for a bit into Endwalker. You would think so, yeah. Hopefully. Welcome back, McD. I hope your food is good. Okay, now everything is available to be attacked. Start taking out this backline character. You have high stun resist for the time being, so we'll stun this front guy, hopefully. Oh, resisted, that's okay. You're gonna die next turn to your bleed, so that's okay.
The will to fight falters.
A stream you had to go mod for had their power grow, which is but don't have to mod now at least. Oh gosh, that's unfortunate. So in short, hey y'all, hello June, welcome in. Sorry that happened to your streamer. It wasn't a power outage, but my stream dropped a little while ago. Well, like over 40 minutes ago now. But my stream completely dropped for and still as of a yet unknown reason. But so far so good. Hopefully it continues to be stable for the rest of the evening. Their specific power grid just likes to go in any sort of inclement weather. Oh gosh, yeah, they have a pretty sensitive one. That's unfortunate. Cheese, crackers, hummus, and pickles. That sounds good, McD. That's a lovely meal.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
I often usually really enjoy like those meals that aren't like a traditionally like prepared meal in a sense, but it's just like a lot of things you enjoy together on a platter. Kind of like a not fancy or effort intensive charcuterie board, right? Charcuterie boards are fantastic. I have actually one of the few like cookbooks I own isn't even a cookbook, it's just it's called On Boards, and it's just a bunch of different charcuterie board like ideas. In other news, you know literally nothing about Darkest Dungeon except you've used music from it for DMing D&D a few times. That's a pretty good choice. Darkest Dungeon has excellent music for that kind of thing. I don't think I knew that you DM'd, June. That's cool.
The ground quakes.
Rad as hell battle music? I bet it does, yeah. Or did I know that? I don't know. I don't have a good memory. I'm sorry if I ever forget personal details about someone. It's not because I don't care about you or your lives, it's just that things drift out of my head easily.
Monstrous size has no
Best meal for not cooking is too hot. I feel that. It's warm here right now.
considered a virtue.
For supper I had like cold chicken and like a salad and stuff. Bought like a pre-cooked chicken from the grocery store and just didn't heat it up again. Just some cold chicken, some salad. Streamer, know about me. I know the most important thing, which is that you chose to patronize me with your viewership. And it means the world. Ooh, this removes a negative quirk. What do we got? Who do we want to get rid of? I wouldn't mind getting rid of Plutomania. That's definitely an option. Fear of Eldritch, Bad Healer. These aren't horrible. What do you got? I don't hate those either. And I really don't hate those. I guess we'll see if we can get rid of Asher's Manic for money. Calm Quirk removed. What did that do? I don't even remember. Oh well, it's fine. Oh, another scout. Okay. Don't do it often, but usually enjoy it when you do. Nice. Just run modules instead of your own campaigns most of the time, though. Oh, nothing wrong with that. The I mean, the pre-written modules and stuff are sort of the basis of what tabletop gaming is, right? I'm pretty sure the majority of tabletop players don't get into homebrewing their own campaigns. That's usually something that happens a ways in after you have quite a bit of experience. At least, I think so. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm sure there are probably some people who jump right into writing their own stuff right from the get-go, but never played DD, but love watching me play it. I appreciate that, McD. I'm glad people have sort of... I don't know if it's my most popular night, but people definitely seem to enjoy Darkest Dungeon, so it's probably going to be a mainstay, or at least games similar to it are probably going to be a mainstay on the channel for a long time. So there was one other thing I was going to mention. Oh yeah, and so in terms of knowing nothing about Darkest Dungeon, it's a roguelike dungeon crawler, so you recruit these various heroic adventurers. It's very similar to D&D kind of, except it's because it's roguelike, like they die kind of easily, and when they die they're just permanently dead. And so you roll up a new PC, if you will, and make new parties and continue on. And yeah, it's turn-based strategy. The characters are in ranks, so like their positions here matter. Like certain moves can only be used from certain positions, and they only hit certain positions. It's a lot of fun. I quite enjoy it. If you have any interest, I do name the characters after viewers. If you're okay with me potentially getting you killed, we do have a queue people can join to have characters named after them. And I'll try my best to find a character that sort of fits into an archetype or a class or a role that you're interested in. Get you absolutely murdered? We will see. Time for another run. Nice. Good luck, love. Really don't want to do the Stormblood raids, but you feel like gonna have to? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Stormblood raids... I mean, maybe it's just because I've run those ones the least, but I recall them being kind of rough. Tried your hand a few times at your own homebrew campaign after Adventure Zone made you feel ambitious, but it's way harder than anyone ever says. Oh, sure. I bet it is, yeah. I've never tried to, like, do any sort of creative writing to that extent. But I imagine it's quite a lot of work. I mean, DMing anyway, from what I understand, is a ton of work. But when you don't even have any resources and you're just making it all up as you go... Well, I mean, you write resources for yourself, of course, but... Gotta catch up with chat. Speaking of roguelikes, did literally anyone else know there's a whole ass official Binding of Isaac card game? I had not heard about that. I've never played Binding of Isaac. I've had multiple friends who were really into it and highly recommended it, but I've never played it myself. We create a general world and then the first like 2 sessions of content and then go, wow, this sucks, and start over. Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, I have to imagine that would be one of the biggest obstacles in that kind of stuff, is just sort of being hit by imposter syndrome and thinking that your campaign's not good enough. I'm sure it was fantastic, though. And if there's one, I think, I don't want to call it a universal truth because nothing's really a universal truth, but if there's one thing I've heard iterated and said over and over again, most of the time the players think their game master is way more put together than they actually are. The players are just like, they don't know what's going on, they're having a great time enjoying whatever like story is being presented to them, and they feel like it's like well put together. Meanwhile, behind the screen, the DM's just like, what am I doing?
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
D&D Beyond really helps. I've heard good things about D&D Beyond, yeah. Ed McMillan tweeted about the expansion for it, and apparently Friday Night Funkin' Boyfriend and Girlfriend cards are in it now. Oh, cool. Just not as good at adapting it in improv as you could be, for sure. For sure. I think that's one of the hardest things I experience as a player too. If anything happens in a game that calls upon me to like draw on an aspect of the character that I forgot to flesh out beforehand, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I need to have such like a preposterously like detailed backstory prepared, because if I don't, like, if someone asks like, hey, like, who was your character's first relationship, and I haven't thought about that, then I'm just like, I have no idea. Oh, I can't hit the front row with that? Well, you're being guarded, so I can hit the front row that way. Nice to look at Lost Mines of Phandelver for clues to pacing. Oh, okay. It's a good recommendation. I'm not familiar with it myself, but I mean, it's good to have that recommendation. I mean, that's how teaching works half the time. Oh, I bet you, McD, sure. Am I doing this fight well? I feel like I'm thinking more about talking about tabletop gaming, and I'm just sort of clicking abilities. It seems like the fight's going well. We're all still low stress and reasonably high health. I think I'm doing okay.
Continue the onslaught.
Like, adapting an improv as a player is pretty easy and can have creative, fun solutions, sure. But improvising and adapting when the players decide to go completely off path is hell. Oh, yeah. We'll just open this.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Lost Mines is the module included in the starter kit because it's absolutely the most beginner friendly for both players and DMs. Gotcha. And you should totally run that, but your dumbass skipped straight to Curse of Strahd. I mean, that's an understandable temptation, though, to go immediately for a module that, like, vibes very well with your own aesthetics or senses, right? So if you're really into horror, to go for Curse of Strahd, or the new thing that just came out is supposed to be really good horror, right? It's Guide to Ravenloft or something? Do I want to... We're pretty early in the run. I don't know if I want to transform yet. Curse of Strahd fucking Rose got a rad vampire daddy? Yeah. I think Ravenloft ties into Curse of Strahd. Gotcha. Can't quite remember. Okay. The thing about Lost Mines is that you can slot it into Curse of Strahd with name changes. Oh, sure, yeah, if you're willing to mix and match stuff a little bit, you can tie things in. Take this out.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Ravenloft is generic Strahd? What do you mean by generic? Like, less of like a planned adventure and more of just like, here's a bunch of resources for setting up your own kind of stuff? Or like... Oh, you've got the horror on you. I might as well, I brought the laudanum along. Might as well use it. We'll actually single target heal this time. Always just too ambitious as a DM. Always want to give your players one of those unforgettable campaign experiences any group only finds once in a blue moon. Sure, sure. One of your earlier campaigns is going to be like first quarter of the adventure in generic Faerun, and then ban the rest of the game in an epic space opera. Ravenloft is a setting, Strahd is an adventure. Okay, that's sort of how I was conceptualizing it, but that makes sense. Okay. I mean, epic space operas are fantastic. That's very much my jam. I think you had the right idea of it with that, though, because those sort of epic experiences usually don't just like pop up immediately in the first couple sessions or like anywhere as close to being like every session. It's usually like sort of a long build up that sort of culminates in something for the players. But I think that's not necessarily entirely on you. Like, something that players played through themselves is going to likely feel more epic to them than it's going to sound to someone like they describe it to. So just if players are willing to stick with a campaign that long, however it culminates is likely going to feel like grand to them, even if you were to tell the story to a bystander, they'd be like, okay, I mean, that sounds alright. Because like characters from the Forgotten Realms fighting aliens in space sounds cool as hell. It does. That is true. You set the table for space. We'll decide if the players decide to eat the dinner. Nice. I'll interact with a stack of books. Ooh, an old journal entry. I don't care about that at all. Oh, shoot. Do I want to start interacting with these fucking pods? Not in a boss run. If we were in a, if we were in a regular run, I'd probably do these just to get the extra loot. But, like, I don't want to risk these characters getting a curse and then, like, being on a timer in this run because I don't have any blood with me. So we'll skip the pods while we're fighting a boss. Any of you played Lords of Waterdeep? It's a great board game set in the D&D universe. I have heard people mention it, and usually, like, always positively. I've heard good things. Haven't but heard good things? Yeah. Oh yeah, I have. It's really good too. Nice. Strong recommend. Okay, so more and more good things that we're hearing about it. Everybody seems to say good things about that. Also a big issue with railroading because you want your players to hit all the cool story beats and moments, and it's really hard to avoid that temptation. Sure, sure. And especially because as you were mentioning that you feel like it's tough to improvise when they go off beat, that's even more emphasis to try and keep them on a path that's been established. I feel like the trick, which is obviously much easier than said than done, is to sort of set up cool beats that can be hit and arrived at from like a variety of angles. So even if they go way off path, there's still sort of like alternate routes that you can seed hooks for and to keep trying to snag them back in along the way. Just a lot of prep, absolutely, for sure. Sometimes you can railroad without railroading. If they don't go down the path that leads to the Vampire Temple, then the Vampire Temple is over here now. True, yes. That's the thing. They don't know how it was supposed to be, so you can obviously move things around and be like, oh, well, nobody... Like, if they haven't even heard of the Vampire Temple, then you can put it wherever in the world you want it to be. And you may have to change some of the local stuff around it, which, again, is a lot of prep. But there are definitely ways around those issues. Gosh, are we already out of inventory space? Ugh, okay. What do I want to ditch here? Do I want to ditch anything? Do I want to keep this stack of emeralds? We don't need one last holy water. If we come across another thing that would get rid of a... Ooh, well, actually, you can get rid of stress, so that's fine. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to fight some of these things anyway. Okay, I don't... Normally I would try to get rid of the Chevalier quick because they deal the most damage, but they can't... They don't have a move that gives us the curse, so I think I want to prioritize these things that could give us the curse. 2 dodges is not great. We gotta go all in on this fight. I don't want to wait around and give them lots of opportunities to curse us. We need to... You're gonna take 2 damage. We could finish you off completely, or we can stun... We'll stun this middle one. Okay, let's hope we don't get a whole bunch of curses right now. Maybe one day you'll combine all of your old campaigns into one big awesome campaign with giant spider gods, fungal apocalypse zombies, and a space opera. That sounds pretty intense, and also really cool if it could be integrated properly. Sometimes the stories you want to tell would be better as books or campaign modules. Yes, especially Curse of Strahd. Oh, sure, that's true.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
You might be able to take that out. 10 damage there. Can you finish this off? Yes, you can. Okay. So we just have the Chevalier left, and it can't curse us, so we're fine. We got through this fight. Our stress is getting a little high, which is kind of rough, but... actually, speaking of that, we can stress here.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
We've got good healing in this party, so like I don't mind this fight taking a little bit longer to take some time to de-stress some characters. What's your stun resist? Just stun you. Okay, well you resisted it. That's unfortunate. Okay, but 2... It's taken 2 per turn, so we don't need to worry about you at all. Shoot. I want to get a heal off, so I guess we'll just change positions. Dope. There we go. Oh, Getting real low on inventory space. I mean, we'll just ditch this stuff. Let's see what this chest has in it.
A handsome reward.
Another key to replace the one we just got rid of. Stack of money. Now we do want to make room for that, but what am I going to get rid of? Emeralds, I guess. Oh, you don't strictly need to be in the back row necessarily. Because I didn't give you the position 4 stuff. Normally I put a high damage character in the back row with trinkets that, or what are they called in this game? Heirlooms, actually, I think. But with things that heavily increase damage while in that position. But I went a different route this time. I could start actually doing some stress reduction with you too. Oh, a fight spawned behind us. It's okay. To 342, getting there. Nice, love. That's fantastic. You're crushing it. Okay, we can stun you. Oh, you're gonna dodge. And of course, you're gonna stress full incantation my most stressed out character. We're just gonna keep de-stressing for now. Think you're rated out. Gonna probably just do an MSQ and then vibe here while you work on some stream stuff. Sounds good, love. I love you. You've made great progress today. You don't need to push yourself to do more if you don't want to. Can we get our stun off again? No, we can't. Why is your stun failing so much? Just unlucky, I guess. I guess it doesn't matter if I just kill like our whole group. Oh, it gave us some blood. Is it worth taking some blood with us? We've been running into... Oh, we do have somebody who's cursed, actually. I forgot we brought somebody already who's cursed. Oh, I hope we don't run into the Fanatic. That might have been a huge miscalculation on my part. I really hope we don't run into the Fanatic in this boss run. I probably should bring this blood along since you might start wasting it any moment. In that case, let's ditch. Portraits. Swing up this way. More books. We've done okay. Touching the books so far, we're probably just going to bypass those ones.
As the light gains purchase,
don't want to push our luck too much.
And purpose is made clear. The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow.
Now, how far do we go before we camp is the question. More books, wow. Like every cure on this run is just books, 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 books. Yeah, just keep stress relief. Nice crit. Okay, you're gonna... Nice dodge. That really high dodge on the Houndmaster is really paying off for us. Spear thrust, that's okay. Stun that that stress character, and we're fine to heal out of all the damage they're gonna do. Now you... Well, it'll just keep doing this even though it's not going to benefit us that much. Do I heal you or do I think I stun one of these two. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully next turn we live long enough to, or rather, actually, they'll definitely live long enough that our Vestal will get another turn off, I think. Which means... it's fine. Vestal next. Dope. Okay, you attack. 7, that's alright. Do I do one more stress relief and then finish it immediately this next turn? Let's try it. Just self, that's okay. Oh, you go immediately, okay. Dope.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Now what do I want to get rid of? If anything. Dog treats? No. Well, no. Keys, shovels. Or do I just accept that I... Okay, realistically, actually, do I need this many torches? We still have a camp, which is going to give us full light. We're not going to need 14 torches. That's kind of excessive. Scout, perfect. Room battle with treasure. Okay. The sack's contents are yours. Who's got... oh, you've got 100%? Excellent. You also have the highest stress, so this is an opportunity to get rid of a little bit of that. 8. Okay, now you're craving, which is why we got this... oh, fuck! I fed it to the wrong person. What a terrible, terrible, terrible thing to happen. That was such a silly mistake. Do I have any more? No. But I'm fine, because they're only craving now. The counter doesn't start until they hit wasting for their death. So we'll be done the run before they start wasting. But it's unfortunate because we could have given her a buff for the rest of the run. Now she's just weak. But it'll be okay.
A momentary abatement.
Prioritize the stress dealers. We might find some more at some point, maybe. Be nice. Gonna pull you? It is. Shoot. And that's not too big a deal. What a terrible night to have a curse. Indeed. At least you can do stuff now. Hey, Tarantula, welcome in. Good to see you. Darkest Dungeon, you love to see it? Indeed. And as for what's up, not too much. I'm doing okay. It's really hot here right now, but I'm surviving. I hope you are doing well. You just stuck up here at the front? It's kind of unfortunate. Now none of these characters have movement-based abilities, so you're going to have to just step back on your own. Yeah, we'll just take out this thing. Good, about to cook some chili? Nice. That sounds delicious. Even though I just said it's really hot here, I would be down to eat some chili, even though I'm already rather warm. It's just you. We can afford to do some stress relief. Oh no, not 4 damage. Oh, you're gonna hit our own party. I suppose that is something that you do when you have the curse.
But never hidden.
Nice. Back from oh, you went and did it? Nice.
Promises success.
I am proud of you for doing that thing that you were not feeling like doing. We have 3 keys? That's a lot of keys. Oh, we get another key back. Okay. We don't need a citrine for any reason. Nothing contains blood. Can you relax? I know. I'm sorry that I fed a vial of blood to somebody else when you were the one who needed it. I didn't have the right character selected. I apologize. You too. Take a picture for me tomorrow when it's lighted again. Yeah, definitely. I want to see how your plants are looking. Mine held up better than I expected through this first day of high heat. They were looking a little wilted, but I mean that's normal. But hopefully they still do okay tomorrow, and then things will cool down a little bit and they'll be better off. Knowledge within forever changes the hero. What do we pick up? Beast Slayer. Replaced Wheel Technician? That's fine. Did I water them after it cooled off a bit? I watered them yesterday in preparation for the high heat. And then I didn't water them today. I'll water them again tomorrow, probably after it cools off a little bit. We're kind of close to the end. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is an empty room. Surely we're not going to have 4 fights stuffed in here before we get to the boss. So I'll get to this room and I'll camp. Actually, I could have camped in that room, I guess. I knew that trap was there,
Watch your step.
but I wasn't paying attention. Whatever. Boots. Things I don't have room for in my inventory. Fine. Usually do every night there's high heat until they start to bear fruit, and then you reduce the water to make the peppers hotter after they start to fruit. Sure, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I probably usually err a little bit on the side of underwatering just because peppers can have, like, their roots are really susceptible to rot, so if the ground stays too wet. But I also have mine in raised beds, so that's not really nearly as much of a concern. Like, there's good drainage. So I probably could have afforded to water today, but they're still looking alright. They're hotter with less watering, good to know. Yeah, peppers tend, or at least there's a lot of people who will swear by the idea of, like, peppers being a lot hotter if you really stress the plants. So low watering, high heat as well. Just like if the plants struggle during their growth and then, like, their bearing fruit cycle, the peppers generally will be hotter.
Circle in the dark.
Supposedly.
May yet be won.
Has something to do with soil pH. Yeah, they like slightly acidic soil as well. Another pepperist, your girlfriend's other boyfriend is also a pepper grower. Oh, nice. Yeah, I put in. Stress makes one spicy, then you're gonna be like 100 million Scovilles. Oh no, June. Oh, that'll just make you more appealing to the right people, though. But yeah, I am. I put in, what did I put in? I have 9 varieties that I'm growing this year, a total of 54 plants that I put in the ground the other day. Now, not all of those are doing, most of them are doing good. 2 or 3 are doing really poorly. I'm not sure if they'll make it. So I might be more like 50, 51 plants by the time the season actually gets into the fruiting. But for the most part, they're looking okay. Did I plant more after I sent you the picture, that picture of the beds? Nope. Nope. All 54 were in those 2 beds that I sent you that picture of. Did I ask the Scorpion Pepper guy for seeds? I think one of those Mega Hot guys will send you some. I did not. I am growing some Scorpion Peppers, though, this year. I think 16 of my plants are Trinidad Scorpions. The hottest thing I'm growing are some Lava Chocolates, which are supposed to get up to like 1.8 million on the scale. Got 3 of those plants, I think. Well, you wouldn't think of Atlantic Canada as a very, very good place for hot peppers. There is a, what's it even called? Atlantic Canada Peppers or something? There's like a depot / greenhouse place that like sells all these different varieties of seeds. My sister bought me a bunch for Christmas, is where I got most of the ones I planted this year. Although my Trinidad Scorpions are actually from some Trinidad Scorpions I grew last year. So those ones are actually 2nd generation peppers when it comes to like my growing. What do I need to do? We've got a little bit of stress here and there, but mostly we can afford to do buffs, I think. Oh, I should probably prevent nighttime ambush. Just to be on the safe side. Wish you had that commitment. You're struggling to keep your 2 succulents alive. I mean, growing stuff can definitely be work, and it's I can definitely see how, like, I sometimes feel like I'm not doing a good job, or I'm not like in the right mental state to put the effort into it, but I managed to keep with it somehow. It also helps that I've slowly ramped up. Like the first year I did some peppers, I had a handful of plants. They were outside in the garden. They did okay. The weather wasn't great that year. It was a really wet season, so they struggled because they were overwatered like most of the time. And then every year since, I've just sort of ramped up production a little bit. And this year is the most I've done by far. But I'm also thinking, or hoping actually, tentative plans in the works at the end of the season to build a greenhouse, so that next year I can start them real early. Because I did start them inside this year, but I still would have liked to start them a little sooner than I did. Accuracy and dodge for 4 battles. Who has the lowest dodge on this team? You do. This is only 1 companion, so you can't cast it on yourself. 35 for you, 23 for you. Let's, first off, let's encourage you to get your stress down. Generally a bit wet. That's true. Yeah, being close to the ocean, we do have, I mean, more humidity in the air. We also generally get a little bit more precipitation. So, yeah, that's a good point. Self-only melee skills, we don't want to buff those, really. Speed for 4 battles. That costs 3. What else was I thinking of casting on somebody? 3 and 3, that should be fine. Speed, and we'll also buff you with accuracy and dodge. So now all my characters except my healer have above 30 dodge for this fight. Should be good. Hopefully. I wish I had fed you that blood. I'm gonna be kicking myself for that. Especially if this fight doesn't go well. The Collector? Why? Did I didn't want this to happen. And of course it happens right after I use my camp. If I had saved my camp, I could have fought the Collector and then camped and everything would have been okay. Everything still might be okay. We're not guaranteed for this to go poorly, but I am gonna have to... Do I transform? I think I do. I think it's important to get this fight over with quickly. If I can. Only talked about the Fanatic. How is the game supposed to know? That's true. I did just say, please not the Fanatic. And so the game was like, oh, so you're fine with the Collector. Does he have... He doesn't have protection, but I could mark him and it will do substantially more damage when he's marked. So we'll start off with that. Let's call, that's fine. Good judgment. No, it's... Which one of these do I want to stun? Probably you, because you can protect him.
Masterfully executed.
We've got pretty high... Now you can't hit anything in the back line. That's okay. You can just like tear through these front stuff. Hopefully. Or work on doing that. But we've got a Highwayman and a Houndmaster. So we should be able to tear down this Collector in the back row here pretty quick. The Collector can bleed? That's surprising to me. Normally skeleton stuff like can't. Oh, these can bleed too. I guess they do have some flesh on them. Oh my god, that was some high damage. It's okay. We're gonna be all right. How high are these bleeds? We don't have bandages anyway, so it's not like something we can deal with. One more attack from you. That's okay. 15. Ugh. Okay. We're all right. Collector collects their own blood. Ah, of course. Do I single target fire you, or is it worth Grape Shot blasting to also take out this Highwayman? No, I think we just focus the Collector down still. Nice crit. Oh, you're gonna die to your bleed. Okay, so we won. That's the fight. And I get a chance to heal. We'll single target my healer. 30. Okay. Dope. You're going to take 2 more damage. You're going to take 2 more damage. You're going to take 8 more damage. Hey, puzzling trapezohedron. Okay. That was not too bad, all things considered. You're going to start the fight at about half health, which is a little upsetting. I would have liked to be starting it. Oh! We might be able to end this fight in better shape than we're starting it in. Maybe. Everybody's stress is pretty low anyway. We're going to transform again. End this real quick if we can. Let's take out... So damage, 5 to 8. Let's take out this. Oh. Should have taken out the higher health one, I guess, since we got the crit. Not that we had any way of knowing. Dodge, good. Ah, another cursed character. Shoot. Okay, well, that's alright.
devastating blow.
I tried. I took out the 3 things that can curse as quickly as I could, but weren't able to prevent that. It does look like we're going to be healthier than we would have been, though. So I guess in that way this fight has been helpful. Actually, you're getting kind of low. We can afford to do some healing and stress relief, some extra healing and stress relief. Have ourselves in really good shape for the boss fight.
Precision and power.
Ooh, hello.
Victory, but a victory nonetheless.
I would need to find 2 more onyx to make them worth more than a ruby. There's the boss. 2 cures on the way. Yeah, we'll ditch the onyx. We'll take the ruby. Am I ditching something for these deeds? Yes, we can ditch the shovel because we got the scout off and we saw that there's no obstacles. We might need to make some more space here in a second. Okay, we already got 2 full stacks of these. We can fill this up. I wish, I say this every time this happens, but I really wish the game would just let you, like, hey, leave these in the chest and let's walk back here after we defeat the boss and have more free space in our inventory. But, alas, that is not an option. Okay, whatever. Let's go. Okay. Bypass this. Ignore those for now. We might come back and do this fight after we beat the boss, because I could use some more invitations. I've only got 1 invitation right now to go search for the Viscount. So maybe we'll come back and try for that after, depending on what shape we're in. If we even beat the boss, who knows? We might wipe.
Man hides there, behind the pews.
Prognostication. What does that do again? Oh, yeah, you're gonna drop stuff on us. That's fine. So we're gonna transform you. Maybe I should have waited till I'd taken damage and then transformed for the big heal. Probably should have done that, to be honest. Oh well. I want to start churning through these. Not that I need to do that necessarily, but you're just gonna focus down the boss back here. As are you. Can't stun. I couldn't stun him anyway. So top everyone up.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Fulminate. Good dodge. Rubble of Ruin. Only 12. That's not bad. Now you're going to start hitting more ranks, of course. Just gonna keep chugging. Good crit.
Pumps, the limbs obey.
Nice. That's a great crit. Okay, so these 2 are starting to
The blood
do some good damage to the Prophet. What's that do? That's a stress ability. Okay. Rubble of Ruin. Dodge? No, and much more damage this time. Okay. I keep trying to drink from an empty glass here. Same 2, it's focusing. Do I... You have a lot of buffs on. Do I switch? No, because if I switch the Vestal forward, the Vestal can't single target heal, it can only group heal. And also, the Vestal has the lowest dodge on the team, so I really wouldn't want to switch the Vestal forward regardless. Okay, you just keep doing damage. Please don't pass or something crazy. Okay, just stress people out, that's fine. Of these two... I mean, clearly you're going to heal the one who's lower health and who doesn't have protection. Hopefully one of these two will dodge, because, I mean, 35, 33, those are pretty good dodge numbers. Mark runs out after the end of this turn. Another crit. That's back-to-back 30 damage crits from the Houndmaster. That's huge. There's stress ability on the Vestal, that's fine. Drop your rubble. What do we got for numbers? Double dodge. There we go. Prognostication on YouTube, that's not even a problem. Oh, you are finally gonna take out one of the pews. You're working your way back here. Actually, if he lives through this turn, though, you can actually do damage to that third rank. In this situation, we can actually toss out a group heal. I mean, both of you might kill it this turn. No, not with that. Oh, because the mark wore off. Yeah, okay. We'll actually apply it to hopefully guarantee ourselves a kill next turn. We'll live through this Rubble of Ruin, I think. We should. I don't know if the Rubble of Ruin can crit. I assume it can. I think all damage can crit. 31 and 20. Okay. That's alright. But now, I mean, this can hit back here. Healer's stunned, but that's okay. You'll probably finish it. There we go.
Did he foresee his own demise? I care not, so long as he
Not bad at all.
dead.
Oh, we get a consecrated pew shard that we can sell for 2,500. Now, it's a while ago, so I don't know if anyone remembers, but when we fought the weaker version of that, it was much dicier. We had, like, 2 or 3 party members, like, at death's door with rubble still falling on them. We had, like... Who was it? I think it was our, grave robber version of Za. Za with 2 A's, who, like, dodged 3 or 4 times at death's door. In that fight, if I'm remembering correctly. Somebody did. Okay, we don't need to actually go back to try and get more loot, because this stuff will fill up all the slots we want to free up anyway, I think. Oh, I forgot to use the dog treats, as I always do. I'm so bad with using dog treats over... Take that. I mean, the life crystal's worth decent money as an uncommon. Or it's worth okay money, I think it's 1,500. Which is worth more than this torch is worth to me. Maybe we will go back and do that last fight. Because we've still got the laudanum and the key that we could ditch. I don't care about this blight charm. Actually, I don't need the laudanum. But we'll still... We'll swing back here and get... Okay, never mind.
Packs full of steel.
We'll eat that bad hunger check and then we'll just leave.
Nary a thought given to the proud.
Immediately after I ditch all my food. Eat, but I had all my characters eat all the food. And then like 2 steps, they're like, time to have a snack. Oh well. Next. So 20k, 21k actually. Decent stuff. Cleared the boss. All of them went up to level 5. Ooh, Fated. Fated's good. What's Gifted? I think Gifted was good too. want to know what I lost just now. Gifted. Control F. Gifted. Oh, that's the plus 20% healing received. That's unfortunate that. Now wait a minute. Do healing things not stack the way I assume they do? Because when I think about it, Forno was getting healed the same amount by the group heal as everybody else, even though he has that, or he had that bonus healing received. So is there just like a cap on bonus healing, and I'm way over it with my Vestal currently? I have to look that up and see how that operates. But I need to use the washroom, so I'll take this opportunity to take my quick break. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it just gives me a bunch of occultists I could recruit? Interesting. I don't have room for any of those. But yeah, I'll be right back. Please take this opportunity to take care of yourselves too, and I'll be with you momentarily. hello. Oh, I gotta switch my screen back. I think it might be a little bit of a shorter one tonight. I'm not gonna end right this second or anything. We'll probably do another quick run, maybe, if there's something quick that we can do. But the heat's getting to me a little bit. And I think part of that's because my computer's putting out a fair bit in addition to what's already in the environment. Actually, I don't have my cooling pad plugged in right now, I don't think. Not that that's going to reduce the heat in my room, but it will reduce the heat on my computer. Where is it? Are you the cooling pad cord? Why are you on this side? Oh my god, I zoomed in. Hello. I forgot I had a button for this. I forgot I had a makeshift stream deck by I made some hotkeys and put them on my number pad for doing stuff like that. Is this? Surely this is the USB for the cooling pad. Oh, okay, you were just caught. I was like, why won't you go where I need you to go? There we go. But yeah, I've got can I remember what the buttons are? There's this one. No, that's okay. Are you the zoom? Yeah. Because I was gonna be a fancy person who would like. What's my hair doing? Who would say something and then like zoom in and look at the camera. And then zoom back out. You know. But I never got used to doing it. And so now I don't even remember. That's okay. I'm glad you got a kick out of that. What's this? Why is the graveyard sparkling? What was my weekly thing that just happened? Did I miss it? By hateful curse of Malign miracle, it seems even death may be defied in this damnable place. Only one of these soldiers. Oh! That's why it's sparkling. These are not 3 new occultists that I can recruit. These are 3 occultists that I've lost that I could bring back. Oh. Oh, that's dope. Finero, level 0. I think you were one of the ones I sacrificed to the Darkest Dungeon because there's an achievement for losing 4 level 0 characters in the Darkest Dungeon. So that's you. Who are you? Za! Triple Za. The level 6 triple Za. Or the triple A Za we could bring back. We would have 2 Zas in the roster, but who's this? Or Griff. Level 4 Griff. Oh no. How do we choose? Which one of you was better? Irrepressible's good. Oh, Hippocratic's dope. Evasive's solid too. Fragile's not great. Dead Hitter is not the end of the world. Clutch Hitter. Gifted's pretty good. Precise Striker's not bad. Actually, on an Occultist is not great. Gifted is received healing. What did you have? You had Hippocratic. Hippocratic is healing on others. Gifted is received healing. I mean, Za's clearly, even just based off level, the stronger character. I might consider Griff just because I don't... Oh no, I have a level 4 occultist and a level 3 occultist. So I've got mid-level occultists. I think we ditch Murdak and bring back a level 6 Za. And then we'll just have 2 Zas in the party for now. Murdak, you did good. I don't know if I ever used you. I think I recruited you at level 2. And I don't think you've been on a run. You also Hippocratic. That's fine. You were possessed by the spirit of the dead Za, and you leveled up to 6 immediately and became...
Those without the stomach for this place must move on.
Ha ha ha. Where is our other Za? Oh no, Za currently is a... right there. A level 6
One must know it.
Hound Master, and now also a level 6 Occultist. We could run the double Za in the same party if we wanted to. That's fantastic. I didn't realize what that was telling me at first. I thought the game was just offering me a bunch of Occultists, and I was like, that's kind of weird. So, does that mean Za 3 just it won't show up in here anymore? Or does it still recognize that we lost? There's Za 2. There's both Sammys back to back. Yeah, Za 3 would have been in this group, though. With these other 3 that went down. 10 weeks apart, so they weren't super close together, but... 2 Legend Hellions. Gosh, that's unfortunate. I love Hellions, they're so strong. Okay, unequip all trinkets. Forno's pretty low stress. Asher could maybe take a little. Frybow could take a little. This Za's probably fine to let de-stress naturally in town. Where do you like to go? You will only pray. Well, that's makes it easy to decide. Where do you like to go? You don't care. But we'll send you to not the building with the cursed person in it. Because that stuff spreads. Now we only have 2 apprentice level characters, but that's okay. Gosh, we have almost our whole roster of 6s now. What do we have that's not 6? A couple of several 5s. That's still champion level. 1 party worth a really weird party. We could do a veteran level run, but we would need to do it with 2 occultists and 2 plague doctors. Which I don't know if that's viable. We'd have a lot of healing. Did I get the super low % revive thing? I did, Za. Look, Za the 3rd is back and it's chilling with Za 4. I did get the super low % revive thing. Which is dope, yeah. So we got back a pretty solid level 6 occultist. 18 HP. Oh, do I have to re-level up all your skills, though? Okay. So you come back as 6, but I have to reinvest the money. That's a little more reasonable. I've been lurking because second to last class ever in presentation had you anxious, but now it's over, so hi. Hello! Presentation had you anxious. You mean you had to do a presentation? I hope it went well. That's awesome, though, that you're coming down to the end. That's fantastic. Good job, my friend. And welcome in. Good to see you. Okay, so I'll have to remember we need to invest a bunch of money into leveling Za 3A back up. Yeah, group presentation went well enough. Nice. Nice. Sounds good. That's usually how I felt about, well, some group presentations. I had some that did not go well. But usually after group presentation, I was like, yeah, that went well enough, I guess. Usually I was too focused on worrying about my own part to really like objectively assess whether my group members also did a good job presenting or not. I was just like focused on what I was doing. So then when it was over, I was like, I have no idea if the rest of you were any good or not, but that's fine. Just want to graduate, C's to get your degree? Nice. That time that guy dropped the class and didn't. But yeah, I mean, there was also that. There was also that. When you go to talk to your professor because one member of your group hasn't been like contacting you or responding to your messages and hasn't done their part of the assignment, and then your professor informs you that they're not in the class anymore. Good times. Okay. Yeah, I think I feel up to maybe another quick run. I am starting to get a little bit of a headache, and it is very hot in here, but if there's a good run available to us, something quick, straightforward. Oh my God, what? Yeah. Had a similar situation once, not quite the same, but yeah, the group mate was no longer in the class. Gosh, yeah, that's... I don't know. I mean, as someone who knows what it's like to struggle with anxiety and other mental health issues, I can understand that it would probably seem like a daunting task to tell these people who are relying on you that you weren't going to be doing your part anymore. But I think it's so much worse to just not inform them at all and just like at least just say like, hey, I have to drop the class for personal reasons. Sorry, but I won't be able to do this stuff. Talk to the professor if you think that's gonna negatively impact you or whatever. Just like something. Let them know. Wish you could give me your aircon. Oh no, love, you need your aircon. I'm okay. It's not that bad. It's much better. I'm glad that this heat wave happened after I managed to get the plants outside, because when I had them inside and I was using the grow light for them, I told you this story already, but I don't think I've mentioned it on stream. The grow light attracted these tiny flies that were small enough to fit through the screen on my window. So I couldn't have the window open when I had the grow light on in the evenings because all these little flies would come in and swarm it. But now that all my plants are outside, I don't need the grow light on, so which means I guess they don't care enough about the regular indoor lighting because they don't come in. They only came in to the grow light, so now it's fine. Do I have AC? No. No, I live in a fairly old house with no AC, so it gets pretty warm in here. Yeah, you have Assassin's Creed? Which one, Zaw? Which Assassin's Creed is your favorite? No, you don't have air conditioning, Southern California things? I mean, that's... I feel like it's probably worse to not have AC in Southern California than it is to not have AC in Eastern Canada. Got up to 33 here today. Felt like 36. I mean, that's within like a degree or two of what we were at. It's essentially the same thing. Favors Black Flag? Mine too, Za. I don't meet many people. I mean, I don't talk to people about Assassin's Creed very often, so maybe my sample size is not big enough. But I feel like not many people pick Black Flag as their favorite. But I loved Black Flag, and I put so many hours into sailing around and pirate ship fighting. It's actually not too bad there, honestly. Depends on where you live. Okay. Inland Empire is fucking brutal without it. I don't know what that means. I don't know where Inland Empire is. Is that a location in California, or is that, are you referring to Missouri? And like the Midwest as being the inland? Where's the Inland Empire? That says boiler heating, so no hope for central air of any kind. Oh, It's an area in Southern California? Okay. What can I quickly run here? Do we have any short... long... Lots of long missions. This is a short. We could go for some... Winemaker's Reserves. That doesn't sound that appealing, to be honest. Medium... You live more inland, but your condo stays cool for some reason. Haven't figured it out, but don't question it. Sure, yeah. Probably where they put the windows. Yeah, if your windows are all like northern exposure, that would help a lot. Opposite building philosophy. Because in Canada, because it's usually cooler here, we tend to focus on southern exposure windows to maximize the amount of sunlight and heat that comes in during the summer. But if you didn't want that to happen, you'd just do the opposite. Is it super unusual for it to be 30 plus? No, not super unusual. 30, like 7 and 38 that it's being today and tomorrow with humidity is pretty unusual. That's pushing it. Usually, like with humidity, we're talking like a 34-ish is like the highest it gets during the summer. Or maybe there'd be like one super hot day. Oh no. It is Monday night and the bar near your house is playing music. Oh, are they back to that, love? They've reopened and they're back on their bullshit. I'm so sorry. None of these missions look like they're quick. I mean, we could do a quick little Winemaker's Reserve. If we had apprentice characters, we could go just run that quickly. These are all mediums or long missions. What is this? Necromancer's Collar, Damager's Unholy. That's fine. It's okay, you're sorry for complaining. No, no worries. That's... I mean, we've been in a call before, and I can hear how loud it is in your house when they're playing their music late at night. So, I mean, regardless, you'd be valid in your frustration about it, but I can vouch for how bad it is. Switching your weather app to C makes you feel much better about the temp. Gosh, these are all medium or longer. I'm so pleased with the roster. So many level 6 characters. So many people to lose to the shuffling horror. Now we'll hopefully get it next time that we fight it. Won't be tonight, but it could be any time because we've got all these characters. So like any week we want to, we can go in there and try again. And then we have these other. Actually, let's verify if what I said was correct about the bosses. Necromancer Lord and Gibbering Prophet, so those are both champion level. Hagwitch and Burger 16 Power, both champion level. Got the Swine God, So just Formless Flesh here and Beguiling. Okay, so yeah, we're on all champion level bosses now. Multiple assaults in the Darkest Dungeon we need to do. Sleeper. I guess that's another Farmstead boss that if we pushed really far we could get to after the Miller. Okay. And the Viscount and the Countess. Are more Crimson Court bosses. We haven't gotten a Highwayman to 6 yet. We haven't gotten a Plague Doctor to 6 yet. That's all we have for character classes, though. And we have... both of those are on the way. Yeah, we've got a 5 Highwayman, a 3 and a 4 Plague Doctor. So we're getting close to having all the caretaker goals done. Very much just endgame stuff now. We're on week 96. None of these missions look like they're going to be quick enough for my liking, and I am feeling like I'm fading kind of quick. So perhaps, even though it's a little early, we'll just call it there for tonight. We had some good runs. We got that boss down. It's a good start. Well, not start, but good progress rather. Let's take a quick gander and see who's kicking around on Twitch. That's not the right page. I'm glad the internet, after that one weird disconnect where the stream went down, I'm glad it held out and worked fine afterwards. Not sure what was going on with that. I appreciate people sticking through that, though. Continuing to hang out. Thank you for the stream. Most welcome. Thank you for being here. Good stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad people enjoy. What am I... Right, I was looking at Twitch. Gosh, I'm losing focus very rapidly. Yeah, I don't know if I have the energy to do a formal raid, regardless. Auto host is a lifesaver in situations. Thanks for stream, thanks for stream. Thank you for being here. You are most welcome. This week, Wednesday will probably be more Celeste. There's a new Genshin patch, actually. Is there anything I want to do on that? No, I don't think I'll be rolling on the banner, so I probably won't bother streaming the new Genshin patch, unless there's something really cool that I do want to show off, but tentatively Wednesday will probably be Celeste. And then Friday, hopefully we will not have 3 weeks in a row of free games that I'm not interested in playing. I will again plug Frostpunk. Frostpunk's excellent. It's just I've already played it, which is why we didn't do it this past Friday. But Frostpunk is free on Epic Games right now, so if anyone has any interest in that, go pick it up and check it out. It's a good game, absolutely. It's just one I've already played. Frostpunk is great, but yeah, you already played it and owned it. I knew that, Za, because you were the first place, when you were playing it, you were the first place I saw Frostpunk, which is what made me want to play it, which is why I ended up getting it at one point. Oh my god, now some asshole is revving their motorcycle and Ollie's crying because it's so loud. Oh gosh. so sorry, love. That's horrible. Yeah, you love Frostpunk? Yeah, Pelly, it's really good. But hopefully, whatever this week's free game is, it's something that I haven't played, that I have at least a mild interest in, so that we can get back to doing the free test Fridays. But we'll see. Just because it's not appealing to me, it doesn't mean it's not appealing to anyone, so I can't really complain about their choices of free games they're giving away. Because they're free. But okay, yeah. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate y'all being here. Got some good talks tonight. Minus Among Us? Well, I can complain slightly about Among Us just because it's such a cheap game anyway. And in their history, whenever they've had a mystery game, it's been like something a little bigger and not something that costs like $5. But whatever. Yeah, but it's cool. Among Us is fantastic. I just don't think it fits for being like, oh, what's the free game this week? But that's neither here nor there. Right, but thank you all for being here. Hope to see you again. Please take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day/night if you're not going to bed soon. And get some great sleep whenever you do. And take care of yourselves. Self-care is important. And I'll talk to you again another time. Okay. Good night.